Welcome back to the deep dive. Ever look at a piece of tech gear and the name is just, well, it's barely a name, more like a code?
Yeah, like a password you're supposed to understand instantly.
Exactly. So today, that's our mission. We're tackling this WolfPack 1x2 HDMI splitter and its designation. Get this, HDCP 2.2, 4K by 2K at 60 Hz, 4.4.4 18G HDR ED.
Quite the string. Looks intimidating, like alphabet soup.
Right. So we're going to decode what all that actually means for, your viewing experience at home.
And the thing is, every single one of those codes, it actually promises something specific, usually something better for your picture or sound. The basic job, look, it's simple enough.
Okay.
It takes one high-def source, like your Blu-ray player or console, and puts that same picture on two TVs or monitors at the same time.
Simple split, 1 in, 2 out.
Exactly. But the real story hiding in those acronyms is just how much high-quality data this little box can handle without breaking a sweat.
Okay, let's dig in then. Starting with the big ones. 4K by 2K at 60 Hz. We mostly get 4K now. That's the 3840 by 2160 resolution. Sharp picture. But why is that 60 Hz part so critical?
Well, because 60 Hz is about motion. You can have the sharpest 4K picture ever, but if it's only refreshing, say, 30 times a second, fast action scenes, sports, it'll look choppy.
Right, you get that sort of stuttering effect or blur.
Precisely. That's 60 frames per second, the 60 Hz, that's what gives you smooth, fluid motion. But pushing that many pixels that quickly, it's like a digital fire hose of information.
Which needs a pretty wide pipe, I imagine.
You got it. And that leads directly to the 18G in the name. That's 18 gigabits per second bandwidth. It's basically confirmation this splitter has the highway needed to handle that 4K at 60 Hz traffic without bottlenecks.
Okay, so resolution, check. Speed and smoothness, check.
Okay.
What about the look of the picture itself? The color?
Good question. That's where YUV 4.4.4 comes in. Now, this gets a bit technical, but 4.4.4, that's basically the gold standard for color information.
What does that mean, practically?
It means full color sampling, no compression tricks. See, some devices, to save bandwidth, they sort of discard some color detail, especially for tiny color changes right next to each other.
Ah, so you might lose fine gradients or sharp color edges?
Exactly. With 4.4.4, you get all the color information from the source. Zero compression. It's crucial for really detailed images, like high-quality photos or intricate graphics. And it supports 36-bit dip color, too. Richer, deeper colors overall.
Got it. So sharp picture, smooth motion, perfect color.
Yeah.
What else is essential for a modern setup? I'm thinking HDR.
Absolutely. High dynamic range. You basically need HDR support now. That's what gives you those really bright highlights and, super deep blacks in the same scene. Makes everything pop.
Like the difference between seeing detail in a bright window and in the shadows of the room at the same time.
That's a great way to put it. But you can't really talk about premium content like 4K HDR movies without talking about copy protection.
Ah, the gatekeeper. HDCP.
Yep. Specifically, HDCP 2.2. This splitter is compliant with 2.2 and the older 1.4. If your splitter or TV or source doesn't support the right HDCP version for the content,
Black screen. No movie for you.
pretty much, it's the digital handshake that allows protected content to play. So HDCP 2.2 compliance is non-negotiable for modern 4K stuff.
Makes sense. Okay, pictures covered. What about sound? Does it just pass through whatever?
It does better than that. The specs mention support for high-end audio formats, things like LPCM 7.1, that's uncompressed surround sound, and also Dolby True HD and DTS HD master audio.
So lossless high-fidelity audio, the kind you get on Blu-rays, the really immersive stuff. Object-based audio, too.
It handles the formats associated with that, yes. So your fancy soundbar or receiver gets the best possible signal to work with.
Now, tying this all together, you've got a source, this splitter, and 2 displays. They all need to communicate perfectly to make sure this high-end video and audio actually works.
That is often the tricky part in real-world setups. What happens if, say, one of your displays is 4K HDR, but the other is just 1080p? Or maybe one TV reports slightly different capabilities than the other?
Sounds like a recipe for frustration. Maybe one screen works, the other doesn't. Or everything defaults to the lowest quality.
That's exactly the kind of headache that can happen. And this is where the last acronym comes in, EDID.
EDID, what's that about?
EDID stands for Extended Display Identification Data. Think of it as the display telling the source device, here's who I am and here's what I can do, resolutions, refresh rates, HDR, audio formats.
Okay, like capabilities list.
Precisely. And the splitter has, and I quote, 4 kinds of EDID handling abilities, which basically means it has built-in smarts to manage these display introductions.
Ah, so it can help negotiate Or maybe force a certain setting?
Yes, it's designed specifically to solve those problem installations. It can help ensure the source sends out a signal that both connected displays can actually handle properly, preventing those black screens or weird resolution issues. It's like a little diplomat for your AV signals.
That actually sounds incredibly useful, like a built-in troubleshooter.
It really can be. We should also briefly mention it supports 3D, if that's still your thing,
Yeah.
and has a micro USB port for firmware upgrades. So it's got a bit of future-proofing.
Okay, so wrapping this up. The key takeaway seems to be that this specific splitter isn't just splitting a signal. It's built to handle, really, the top tier of current video and audio standards. 4K at 60 Hz, full 4.4.4 color, HDR, the necessary HDCP protection.
And the high-end audio formats, plus that clever EDID management, it covers all the bases for a premium experience.
So here's something to think about. Now that you know what just a few of these acronyms mean, 60 Hz, 4.4.4, HDCP 2.2, EDID, how does that change the way you look at the specs for any AV gear you might buy next?
Suddenly, just seeing 4K on the box isn't quite enough information, is it?
Not at all. You start looking for those other details. The devil, or maybe the delight, is in those details.
It really is. Knowing what to look for is half the battle in getting the setup you actually want. Remember, in home theater, understanding the specs can be just as important as the gear itself.